With the England and Scotland team now announced, I thought it was probably best to do an updated team selection, given, as I said in my video this morning, I have backed the decent fixture for England against Japan. So there's a few changes, but as you can see, team selection wise for England, pretty strong team, which I would presume is we all expected, given they haven't won a game so far against the Southern Hemisphere teams. So expected. Scotland also pretty strong, and I would imagine a standard outfit for Scotland these days. Probably the team you've seen for the past 3 years or so. Again, probably a make or break game for them this autumn. Have probably won and lost expected games. Won against Fiji, Portugal, and lost against Africa, of course. So will this game against Australia turn the tide? As I always say, do drop a comment down below. We've already had a fair few in this morning's video, so if you need any late tips or, well, just general chit chat really before the deadline, which I think is probably at 8. Obviously you can change in the morning tomorrow for the games remaining, but yeah, let's expect deadline this evening. Drop your comment down below, and as always, I'll answer. So, as you all saw, this was my team going in to this morning, from this morning's video, should I say. I think, looking back at it, I have changed it, but looking back, probably have targeted Ireland and England, but maybe haven't targeted England as much as I should. So, we'll see now who I've taken out. So, I have removed a few Irish players in Andrew Porter, Jacob Stockdale, and then also Van der Fleer has gone. So yeah, even though I said backed Ireland, obviously was number 1 team in the world against Fiji, I feel like that Fiji team is a lot stronger than the Japanese team. And can't believe I'm saying this, but I do think the England team, which has been announced, is just a little bit stronger than the Irish team. Irish team obviously has a few uncapped players, or very few capped players. So yeah, I just prefer the England-Japan fixture to Ireland-Fiji. Ireland-Fiji is still a great fixture, so not knocking that, but I think more England players as opposed to the Irish players that I had in previously. So first off, instead of Andrew Porter, not necessarily a massive upgrade here, but I have gone with Will Stewart. I think Andrew Porter, we all know he is really good. Do expect them to be rotated though a little bit more against Fiji. If I had budget, I would probably have picked Andrew Porter, to be quite honest. But Will Stewart is in. I think they're going to win a shed load of scrums against Japan. They're just going to dominate them. Does also like to carry the ball. Not a huge threat in terms of meters made, obviously, but I just think he'll do his job, which will suit me. Then, instead of Van der Fleer, I have put in Sam Underhill. I think he scored something ridiculous like 40 or 50 points last time out. Obviously against Africa, you know he was going to do more defensive work. A bit like Jack Morgan last week, who also scored I think it was something ridiculous, like 60 points. But that's just because he was defending all game. Obviously I've picked good fixtures and haven't picked, I guess, defensive-minded people. Could be like Lamaro against New Zealand on the weekend, but back Sam Underhill, just a workhorse, and when they do defend, he will be key in turning the ball over, but also loves a carry as well. I think he also picked up a try last week, if I'm not mistaken. And then, finally, I've actually put in George Furbank instead of Jacob Stockdale. I think with Furbank being in over Stewart this week, I think just iterates the game plan, right? Marcus Smith, George Furbank, it just has play, and jouer all over it. So I'm hoping that's the case. I've obviously kept Ollie Fly at home and haven't got Tommy Freeman. We do have Roebuck on the bench, and given Tommy Freeman has played basically every minute of this automations, I do expect it to be him to be rotated later in the game, as opposed to Furbank or Slightholme. Finn Smith will also come on. Again, may come on for Furbank later in the game, or Marcus Smith, we'll have to see. But I think Furbank will do the damage in the first half, and look, loves an assist, loves a line break, so that's why I've picked him. And then, if you couldn't tell from the thumbnail, I have gone with Cunningham South as my super sub. As I said in this morning's video, had Elliot Daly. If, let's say Faye Waboso on the bench as a super sub, he probably would have tipped it. But Tom Roebuck, as good of a player as he is, doesn't excite me as much as Cunningham South. Obviously, he's picked up 2 tries this automation so far and been a key pillar and starter of the England team. So I think he'll come on, let's say 50-60 minutes to go, hopefully more like 50, and really dominate and carry the ball pretty hard. So that's what I'm hoping. Has it worked out so far, my super sub? This automations? No, it hasn't. So let's hope Cunningham South can turn the tide. So I think we're pretty locked in right now. First game is France later today against Argentina, 8 o'clock. Got Mavaca, Gross, Dupont and Ramos. So hopefully I'm back in the French win. Had a really good win against New Zealand last week. A tough Argentinian team, to be fair, so I am definitely backing them. And then tomorrow, back in Ireland, Fiji. Pretty decent fixture. And then on Sunday, we've got the England boys with captain and super sub in Smith and Cunningham South. So I'm hopeful for a really decent end to this automations fantasy. But we all know how fantasy goes. It doesn't go the way you expected. So we'll soon find out. But good luck, everyone. Again, any last minute tips or comments, leave them down in the comments below. And I'll see you all in the next one.